Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Prime Time Wrestling here on the USA Network. We got a great show for you tonight. We have Hacksaw Jim Duggan facing the one-man gang in our opening contest. Hacksaw Jim Duggan has a date with destiny in just 5 days at the Philadelphia Spectrum as he and the World Wrestling Federation champion Hulk Hogan team up to take on Heenan family members King Kong Bundy and the number one contender, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Now, that tag team match has been set up as Hacksaw Jim Duggan took offense when Mr. Wonderful was pile driving his opponents on the concrete floor in Orndorff's attempt to get Hulk Hogan to put up his title for Paul Orndorff. So that match takes place, and then of course the next week, New York City, Madison Square Garden, the championship match, the long-awaited championship match, as Hulk Hogan defends against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. But right now, Hacksaw Duggan in the ring, and he has quite the challenge of the one-man gang. Now, conspicuous by his absence is the Reverend Slick. He is here. He's attending to the Big Bossman in the back, who earlier in the night got a ankle injury at the hands of Greg the Hammer Valentine. So Slick has decided to stay back there with the Big Boss Man. I'm sure if One Man Gang needs it, Slick will be out to help. And these guys look ready to go, and we'll ring the bell. Oh, and shoved down by the one-man gang. You know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan has been on the roll of late, except for that one loss to Jim Thompson last week on Superstars of Wrestling. He's looking to rebound against the one-man gang. But other than that little glitch, Hacksaw Duggan has been working his way up the ranks to Intercontinental title consideration. He's ranked number 5 currently. Oh, what a big hand by the one-man gang. You take a hand like that and you're darn right you're going to roll up the ring. But here he comes full of vengeance. Hacksaw Duggan catches the leg, and the atomic drop by Hacksaw. You can lift that big guy up. When that weight goes up, it must come down. Ooh, and going down it did on Hacksaw. Nice reversal by one-man gang. Hacksaw rolling to the outside. One-man gang missing with a stomp. Did not miss with a forearm that knocked Hacksaw to the ground. One-man gang chasing him outside. Having his way with Hacksaw outside. Hacksaw knows the outside all too well, as we mentioned before. Oh, what a move. Across the back on the guardrail. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, no stranger to the outside. It was last week that Jim Thompson scored his first victory in the World Wrestling Federation, defeating Hacksaw Jim Duggan via countout. And if he's not careful, he's going to lose to the one-man gang. They're up to a 6 count. Oh, there's a reversal. Referee counted 7. Hacksaw throws them in, and there they go. Back inside the squared circle. Hacksaw gave one-man gang a little time to recoup. Irish whip. Butterfly suplex. Beautiful move. Going for the cover. Let's see if that's enough. And a kick out of 1 for Hacksaw. One-man gang feeling it. He's going to try to put Hacksaw away with a big elbow drop right across the sternum. Irish whip into the corner. And one-man gang going up to the second turnbuckle. And beautiful splash. Is he going to cover him? No. Works on the arm. I think he may have had him there. This may be a mistake not having Slick at ringside to direct him and tell him to go for the cover. Maybe he just wants to beat Hacksaw a little bit more, and Hacksaw reverses that with a punch of his own and a side backbreaker. And Hacksaw's coming back to life. Picks him up in a big body slam. 380 pounds in the air like he was nothing. Gang whips him into the turnbuckle. And a big splash in the corner. Hacksaw is dazed. Russian leg sweep. Goes for the cover. And 3, one-man gang wins. He did not need Reverend Slick at ringside. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan on a little bit of a losing streak. First last week against Jim Thompson via countout. This week, getting his shoulders pinned to the mat 1, 2, 3 by the one-man gang. And he's not done yet. Kicking away at Hacksaw. Referee, get in there. Stop this. The match is over. Come on, this is ridiculous. One-man gang victorious. And folks, we have a lot more action for you tonight, so stay tuned. We're coming back after these messages. We have some tag team action up next here on Primetime Wrestling. As we have Barry Horowitz and Canada's greatest athlete, Iron Mike Sharpe, getting ready for some tag team action. And they're going to take on newcomers here in the World Wrestling Federation. All I know is their name is Axe and Smash, collectively known as Demolition. I am not sure which one is which. I may be able to find out when they take off their ring gear. But these guys bring with them a reputation of beating people down. And that's Iron Mike Sharpe. I believe the gentleman in the ring is Axe. I believe that's Axe in the ring. And Iron Mike Sharpe, well, he's not afraid of Axe, and he delivers an inverted atomic drop. And Canada's greatest athlete having his way early in this matchup. A lot of tag teams here in the World Wrestling Federation looking, but there's only one that's at the top, and Iron Mike goes for the cover. Kick out at 1. Only one tag team at the cream of the crop, and that would be Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. Now, in a week and a half time at Madison Square Garden, they will be defending the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship against the Hart Foundation, who are on a little bit of a losing streak themselves in recent weeks here. And it looks like Axe rolls to his corner, makes the tag, and that would be Smash coming in. And he's met by Iron Mike as well. With a big fist, knocks Smash to the floor. He's going right after him. You had to admire that. Not giving this guy Smash time to breathe and recover. Smash reverses it, and a knee lift to the face. Knocks Iron Mike down. Elbow drop on the floor. These guys are impressive. Big, tough, and they like to hurt people. Another elbow drop. And Smash Might want to get Iron Mike back in the ring. And does. Iron Mike looking to tag Barry Horowitz. But does Barry Horowitz really want to get in this match? A nice elbow drop again by Smash. He's 300 pounds plus. Dropping that elbow down is going to do some damage. Setting him up for what it looks like to be a power bomb. What a maneuver. And Smash picks him up by the throat. He's a big guy. Iron Mike's 270 pounds. Throws him down like a sack of potatoes. And it looks like another power bomb by Smash. And picks up Iron Mike again. Kicking the midsection and a double axe handle and a clothesline from behind. What a series of moves from Smash. Setting him up for what looks like a suplex. Oh, he's taunting Iron Mike, again holding 270 pounds in the air. Drops him down to the mat. And Barry Horowitz still intent in getting in this match. Barry Horowitz stands at what, 235? So Smash having his way with a 270-pound Iron Mike. Not sure I'd be wanting to get in so fast. And Smash with a back-to-back suplex. And Iron Mike makes the tag, and Smash kind of just let it happen. Barry Horowitz with a drop kick. Smash is back up. Forearm smash. Smash is back up. A drop kick again. And Smash makes the tag to Axe. Oh, and a big elbow. Horowitz whips him in and an elbow off the turnbuckles. Off the ropes, excuse me. Turnbuckles. Fourth wall. Horowitz drags Axe in the middle of the ring. There's the Irish whip into the turnbuckle. And Horowitz whips him again across the ring. And follows up with a big clothesline. Could this be it? Does not go for the cover. And a DDT by Barry Horowitz. Working the knee now of Axe. Smart move. Big man can't move without his legs. Has him in some sort of leg lock. Drops him down. He's working both the legs now. And now a good old-fashioned choke. Has a count of 5, which he clearly broke up before then. Again, working the legs of Demolition Axe. He picks him up. What's he going to do? Flips him forward into a backbreaker. And that might be it. He's not going for the cover. I think that's a mistake. Oh, and you do not want to upset him. He just rubbed his face into the mat. Followed by an elbow drop. Going for the cover. Is it enough? 2. Kicks out at 2. Oh, and what a punch on the side of the head. And another choke. Come on, ref. Get in there. He's setting him up for what we have no idea. Oh, a code breaker. And I think Axe is busted open. And I don't think he's happy. He tags in Smash. Picks up Barry Horowitz and they double. Oh my gosh, they're going to work on Horowitz in the corner. These guys like to beat people up. I said that earlier. And Axe is busted open. And it's almost as if he saw the blood and said, okay, enough toying around. And a big clothesline by Smash. Going for the cover. Could that be it? 2 and 3. Demolition wins. That was a tale of 2 matches, if you ask me. Demolition kind of getting had, if you will, by Iron Mike and Barry Horowitz. But then as soon as Axe got busted open, he said, okay, that's enough. And they turned on the heat, and within a matter of seconds, the match was over. A lot of highlights in this match for Barry Horowitz and Iron Mike Sharpe. Unfortunately, that and the 50 cents will get you a cup of coffee. And there's the code breaker that busted Axe wide open. And from there, Demolition said, okay, that's enough. We're going to put these guys away. And they did just that. Your winners tonight, Demolition, Axe, and Smash. Newcomers here to the World Wrestling Federation. And challengers beware. These guys are tough. Fans, we'll be back with more action on Primetime Wrestling after these words. Cowboy Bob Orton making his way to the ring. And Cowboy Bob has been on a bit of a losing streak as of late. However, he did have a very good showing at last Saturday night's main event when he took on WWF champion Hulk Hogan in a match where Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff had put a bounty on Hulk Hogan and Bob Orton tried to collect. He held his own. In fact, he even hit the superplex off the top rope. Only got a cover of 2. Hulk Hogan eventually came back and won the match, retaining his championship. But Cowboy Bob looking to build on that momentum as he takes on the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship. And there's the music. The fans stand up. It's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And it's amazing what a win in this match for either of these competitors can do. If Cowboy Bob pulls this out, what is that, a handshake before the match? It's maybe that's Ace trying to get in Ricky Steamboat's head. But if Cowboy Bob can pull out this victory, he climbs up the ranks of the Intercontinental Championship. So who knows where that's going to go. But first he has to put his shoulders to the mat, 1, 2, 3. And Ricky Steamboat is on a roll as of late. Steamboat taking over Bob Orton. Has him up against the ropes. Whips him in. Beautiful. Crossbody. Ricky Steamboat. He is just poetry in motion. Not a wasted move for Ricky Steamboat. He is so good, so tight in the ring. Suplex to Bob Orton. And a standing fist drop. Adds another and a third. Cowboy Bob's wondering why he woke up this morning. And Steamboat drops him across the top rope, guillotine style. And Bob Orton is down. An arm slam to the mat. Ricky Steamboat has a sleeper hold. Locked in. He has been perfecting this maneuver. Does Cowboy Bob have enough to get out? And Steamboat lets him go. This could be the precursor to that high crossbody up the top rope, and he is going up top now. I'll tell you what, if he hits this on the Macho Man, it's all over. He hits it on Bob Orton, and this should be all over. Referee out of position is down. 1, 2, and 3. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, your winner here on Primetime. And he just keeps the victories coming. This guy is on a hot streak. And the Macho Man, best beware, Because if he hits that crossbody from the top rope on him, we will have a new Intercontinental Champion. Poetry, I tell you, he is really on a roll. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, your winner here on Primetime. Folks, don't go away. We have much more on Primetime Wrestling. We'll have more after these words. Don't go away. We have the Intercontinental Champion Macho Man Randy Savage in action next. He'll be taking on the Big Bossman. Folks, don't go away. We have a big main event for you tonight, as Tito Santana will wrestle the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. That's our main event tonight. Also, Rick Rude in action. But first, the Macho Man, in a non-title match, will wrestle the Big Bossman. Now, the Big Bossman is coming off of an ankle injury at the hands of Greg the Hammer Valentine. So, it's going to be interesting to see if the Macho Man goes after it or not. And what is this? Who is coming to the ringside now? Steve Lombardi. He has something to say to the Macho Man. I mean, Steve Lombardi, of all people, coming here to egg on the Macho Man? Does this guy have a death wish? And Macho's not too happy about it. He's going to take care of business in the ring. Steve Lombardi, watching from ringside, Macho Man knocks down the Boss Man. And is he going for the legs? Nope. Picking him up. And a kick to the stomach knocks him back down. Why on earth is Steve Lombardi at ringside? Big elbow. And Macho, is he going to end it here? Going up top. And drops the splash. Goes for the cover. Could it be it? And a 2 count only. I thought he was going to go for that elbow and end this match early. Macho Man with a clean rick of the eyes right in front of the referee. And a neck breaker on the by the Macho Man on the Big Boss Man. Folks, if you're just joining us, Steve Lombardi came down to ringside. Yes, that's Steve Lombardi. Came to ringside to distract, challenge, have words for the Macho Man. I have no idea why. And the Boss Man is whipped into the turnbuckle. And there's Lombardi again, interfering with this match. Does he have a death wish? Macho's going outside. He's had enough. And Steve Lombardi, who has about as many wins as Macho Man has Intercontinental title reigns, has distracted him enough for the Big Boss Man to take advantage here. And it looks like the referee sending Lombardi back to the dressing room. And I would not want to be Steve Lombardi if Macho Man ends up losing this non-title match. And Boss Man's having his way on the outside with the Macho Man. And a knee to the head by the Boss Man. I don't know what the count's up to, but these guys better get back in the ring soon. And it sounds like they heard me. Count of 7. And the Boss Man putting Macho Man in position. Is he going to go for the cover? He is. Is it enough? I'll tell you what, if it ends like this, Boss Man only got the advantage due to a distraction by Steve Lombardi. Folks, it doesn't get much more serious each time. Oh, and an elbow busts open Big Boss Man. Macho Man going for the pile driver. That's usually the precursor to the elbow drop. Is he going to go up top? Maybe not. He's not in position. And rams his head into the mat violently. The Macho Man appears quite upset. Picks him up an inverted atomic drop. Big Bossman won't be singing a soprano tomorrow. 2, and a kick out of 2. And a Greco-Roman rake of the eyes, and the Macho Man with a neck breaker. And now he's going up top. Could it be the elbow drop? He's halfway across the ring. I don't know if he can make it. Macho Man is up. And is he waiting for the Bossman to... He is. Okay, he may have realized that he was too far away. Ooh, what a move on the back of the Bossman. Macho Man has been very intense since Steve Lombardi interfered in the match earlier. Yes, Steve Lombardi. Pile driver, and now he's going up top. This should be it. Macho Man up top. Oh, Bossman gets up. And a double axe handle knocks him down. This should be it. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. The Macho Man is your winner. And if I'm Steve Lombardi, I'm grabbing my bags and heading to the hotel. Some match highlights here. The Bossman did have some control early on, but he mostly gained his control after Steve Lombardi came to the ringside and distracted the Macho Man. And there's a beautiful, beautiful pile driver. Inverted atomic drop. That should have been it right there, but Bossman did kick out. And another pile driver. Almost as beautiful as Paul Orndorff. There is the double axe handle from the top rope. And that was all she wrote. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, is victorious tonight. Again, I would not want to be Steve Lombardi tonight because Macho Man is irate. He's not somebody that you want on his bad side, if you will. Folks, don't go away. We have much more primetime. We have Rick Rude in action. And remember, our main event tonight, Tito Santana will wrestle the new #1 contender, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. That's coming up next on Primetime Wrestling. Don't go away, guys. And there's Jim the Anvil Neidhart, one half of the Hart Foundation, the #1 contenders to the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship. And they are going to get their shot at the titles this Saturday night in Philadelphia as they challenge Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik for those Tag Team Championships. However, tonight it's one-on-one action as he wrestles the Ravishing One, Rick Rude. And Rick Rude finds himself basically in limbo right now. It appears that Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, representing the Heenan family, is obviously being the #1 contender. He is content for the time being, allowing Mr. Wonderful to chase Hulk Hogan. But he'll have his hands full, of course, with the likes of Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage for that Intercontinental Championship. Lots of superstars have their eye on Rick Rude and vice versa. As the Anvil kicking away on Rick Rude. Goes for a cover very early in the matchup, and Rick Rude kicks out easily. And the Anvil knocks Rick Rude out to the ring and follows him outside. And a kick to the gut by the Anvil. And the referee's counting up to 5. And Rude drops the elbow up to 6. 7. And Rude throws him back in the ring. And a big kick. And when you throw Jim the Anvil Neidhart across the ring like that, that's a big kick. Anvil with a nice move, throwing Rick Rude down to the mat. And you got to figure a one-on-one singles win for the Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Oh, he clotheslines Rick Rude over the top rope. A one-on-one victory over Rick Rude would definitely elevate Jim Neidhart to that Intercontinental Championship standings too. And what a big kick. Sends Rude reeling, gasping for air with a big punch to the side of the head. And a big elbow across the head. Anvil's back in the ring. What a blow. And the Cobra clutch locked in by the Anvil. Could this be it? And it is! A submission by Jim the Anvil Neidhart on Rick Rude. And dare I say that's an upset, folks. Jim the Anvil Neidhart controlled most of this match. And that has to carry some momentum going into their World Tag Team title match this weekend in Philadelphia. Because if you could beat the likes of Rick Rude individually, well, then you have the help of the Hitman Bret Hart, and you can definitely do some damage and take home some gold this weekend. And there is your winner, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And an upset here on Primetime Wrestling. But maybe no one's more upset than Rick Rude for letting that victory go away. Folks, don't go away. We'll be back after more after these messages. And here we are, main event time on Primetime. Mr. Wonderful wrestling Tito Santana. And Mr. Wonderful looking forward to this weekend. He has tag team action as he teams up with fellow Heenan member King Kong Bundy. And they will take on Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the WWF World Champion Hulk Hogan. But his attention, he cannot look past that match, but it's almost hard trying not to, because the week after he has what he's wanted all along, and that's a world title match against the Hulkster. But first, Tito Santana. And Tito Santana on a little bit of a hot streak in recent weeks. Former Intercontinental Champion moving up the ranks. Former Tag Team Champion, and he's in recent weeks has been teaming with Rick Martel. See where that tag team goes. Two fine wrestlers. You would imagine a victory over the #1 contender would shoot him right up the rankings. Mr. Wonderful seems to have Tito where he wants him. And charges, but Tito blocks it and kicks of his own. And Mr. Wonderful's dazed. Santana with a whip in and a block. Oh, these two guys. You can just cut the tension with a knife. And Mr. Wonderful taking him up top. What's he going to do here? A belly to back off the top rope. What a beautiful maneuver. And Mr. Wonderful's wasting no time. He's going for the cover right here. And a kick out of 2 by Tito Santana. I'm not sure how he did that. Oh, he's toying with him now, Mr. Wonderful. Fans, you do not want to miss this big match. New York City, Madison Square Garden. Tickets are on sale. At all Ticketmaster locations, it's going to be a big one. Hulk Hogan's first title defense in the United States in over a month and a half. He's enjoyed a very successful tour overseas, defending that World Heavyweight Championship everywhere against some tough competition. His last title match was against Tatsumi Fujinami. And unfortunately, we hear that the Hulkster had a little bit of an arm injury coming out of that match. He did successfully retain the championship, but Tatsumi hurt his arm, so looking to see if Mr. Wonderful will be aiming for that this weekend in Philadelphia or during their world title match in New York City. In the meantime, Mr. Wonderful with the Snapmare takeover. You got a big card in Philadelphia. Running down the matches signed thus far, we have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat challenging the Macho Man Randy Savage for the Intercontinental Championship. That big tag team main event. We also have Don the Rock Morocco teaming up with his new partner, Superstar Billy Graham, and they'll be taking on the Hart Foundation. And then a little bit of a revenge between Greg Valentine and the Big Bossman. So a loaded card in Philadelphia this weekend. And Mr. Wonderful setting him up, and he's going for the pile driver. If he hits it on Hulk Hogan, it's all over. It should be over here with Tito Santana. Going for the cover. And a kick out. Tito kicked out. I'm in utter shock. That maneuver has put so many people away. And Tito Santana said, nope, not yet, not yet. You're going to earn this victory more than you have thus far. Is he going for it again? Nope. A power bomb by Mr. Wonderful. Into the turnbuckle. I think Mr. Wonderful is focusing on the back versus the neck, which is his usual target. And I spoke too soon. The back of the neck ramming his head into the carpet. The mat, excuse me. And I think Tito has been busted open. Jabs back. I can't see from my vantage point. Tito has been busted open. Oh, that blood is trickling down into his eyes. Oh, and Mr. Wonderful with the leg scissors down. Face first to the mat. He picks him up and he drops him across the top rope. All that weight coming down the top rope snaps your neck back. And Tito's in a world of trouble. Again with a knee to the back. Now this move isn't going to hurt you as much as it's going to insult you. Big right hand by Mr. Wonderful. Setting up for a suplex and nails it. Going for the cover. Let's see if Tito can kick out. 2, and he does. You're not going to beat Tito Santana with a suplex. You will beat him with a pile driver. I'm shocked he kicked out when he hit that. But Tito is a tough competitor. And he's coming back. Arm drag takedown. Tito Santana has an open contract for next Saturday night at Madison Square Garden. Let's see who steps up to take that challenge. And a headlock. Giving Tito some time to rest. Get some of that blood out of his eyes. And Mr. Wonderful fighting his way out. And another punch down the back. Mr. Wonderful leaning up against the ropes. And right hands to the midsection, another one. And Mr. Wonderful sets up for the big clothesline. We know what that means. Then Mr. Wonderful, if he was wise, he would be stopped showing off for the fans and would go cover Tito. He's already kicked out of the pile driver once. A big right arm to the back of Tito, and Tito looks upset, fired back. Tito, cross-face chicken wing into a suplex. Orndorff rammed into the turnbuckles. And Tito whips him across the ring, no back. And a big bulldog, face first to the mat goes Orndorff. Tito climbing the ropes. Big knee to the head. This could do it. Tito working the leg of Mr. Wonderful. Oh, and Mr. Wonderful said that's enough. Sets him up in another pile driver. This is the second of the match. If Tito kicks out of this, that would be very impressive. Mr. Wonderful goes for the pinfall. Could it be it? And that is it. Your winner, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. And he rides the wave of momentum to both New York and Philadelphia this weekend. And if you're Hacksaw Duggan or Hulk Hogan, you have to be worried about how hot on a streak that Mr. Wonderful is on. And Tito Santana, this is very tough competitor. He will rebound, I'm sure. But are we looking at the future World Heavyweight Champion? We will know in 2 weeks' time. Your winner, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. We thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week in Philadelphia. We will be airing that live here on the USA Network. We'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody.